I lost the female due to egg bounding, okay? I don't know if you can't tell by the thumbnail, not a good situation. We're going to dive deep as far as what happened to this female. We're going to talk about what happened to the eggs. We're going to cover it all, okay? Because like I said, egg bound is something that is bound to happen, no pun intended. But yeah, man, welcome back to the Snake Trap Sessions. I am so excited to be back. Viewer discretion is advised on this vlog, guys. I wish everything could be rainbows and peaches, but at the end of the day, when it comes to breeding living animals, it's not always a pretty thing. What is good, everybody? I'm your boy, MJ. Welcome back to another episode of the Trap Reptile Vlogs. Listen, if this is your first time hanging out, don't be alarmed, okay? Don't let this vlog kind of put you in a weird place. I'm very transparent when it comes to sharing things to all you guys, because at the end of the day, good things happen, bad things happen. You get your good waves, and then your waves kind of die out, and then sometimes nothing happens, and then sometimes your waves just wipe you out, okay? But I'm not wiped out first and foremost, maybe a little bit down, but this is why talking about it, I feel like, is easier. I lost the female due to egg bounding, okay? I don't know if you can't tell by the thumbnail, not a good situation. We're going to dive deep as far as what happened to this female. We're going to talk about what happened to the eggs. We're going to cover it all, okay? Because like I said, egg bound is something that is bound to happen, no pun intended. This was definitely my biggest blow to any chondro project that I've ever had. I've never lost a female when it comes to breeding chondros. So talking about this is a little sensitive, but I'm here, man. I'm here to let you guys know what could happen when it comes to breeding. And yes, guess what? I'm not the only one who's ever had an egg bound female when it comes to chondros. But the thing is, the females don't always lose their life. Some of the females recover, okay? Most females never lay again. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much about it now, because what we're going to do on this episode is we're going to actually sit down and dive deep as far as what I feel like went wrong with my email going egg bound, me losing my female, and yep, you guessed right, I lost all the eggs. But before we do sit down, guys, do me a favor. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more out of what you see out of these videos, or if you want to hear this kind of bad news or good news before you guys hear it on YouTube, then please consider joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. You can join the Trap Talk Patreon family by clicking the first link in description below. As soon as you join the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get connected to a Discord, awesome Instagram group chat. Just a good way to network yourself and hang out with some of the best reptile keepers in the game, hands down. Shout out to my Patreon members, man. You guys are my heart. What is good, everybody? Wow, when was the last time I sat down and actually talked to you guys like this? This reminds me of the OG Trap Reptile Vlog days. You know what? Listen, I figured I'd bring out my Tamika Aru designer cross. Nope, of course not. Kind of blurry. But yes, I have my Tamika Aru designer cross right here sitting in front of me, because at the end of the day, you got to be reminded on things to be thankful for. I'm definitely thankful for her and many other really cool designer green tree pythons that I keep, guys. But why don't we get down to business, okay? Like, why don't we talk about what I feel like went wrong with my Vinsky Blueline designer green tree python? Well, let's take it here, okay? She was my very first designer green tree python I ever gotten. I've gotten from my good buddy John over at HK Reptiles, who at that time was getting out of chondros. Wonder why.
Message!
But he was getting out of chondros, and him and I were close right off the bat. And I think the last year of him breeding chondros, he offered me one of his red neonate designer productions that he produced. I would say about 4 years old is when I'm starting to figure out that she wasn't a male, because mind you, this girl was small. She was really, really small. And I was going off size at that time when it came down to like knowing the sexes of my chondros. Didn't have much breeding experience at that time also. So I felt like size was a good thing to go off of, like a good base. But man, I was wrong with this girl for sure. So this girl just turned out to be a real small designer green tree python. She was still about 600 grams. And that's a rough guess, guys. I don't weigh my chondros. I don't weigh my emeralds, normally because there's no reason to. You know, I always go off age. I'm always basing things off maturity, right? And if you do that, I feel like that's typically a safe case, right? but there are case-by-case scenarios like we're talking about now. So I got to tell you right now that even though my female was at age, well at age 7 years old, she was still pretty small. So let's just make sure that's clear. Okay. So this female we're talking about was my smallest breeder female, and she bred at the age of 7. Okay. So, and again, real small girl. I can't tell you the exact weight because I didn't weigh her. And you know what? Before I even move forward, I'm letting you guys know I'm never going to be breeding a girl this small ever again. Plenty of breeders on the Trap Reptile Network has said that they bred small females. After this experience, it's not happening. Okay. I would say if I was going to breed a smaller female, I would weigh her just so I could know exactly how much she's weighing prior to going into breeding, especially if she's just at that size, right? So with that being said, I bred her. She looked like she was kind of building at the end of last year. And when I say end of last year, I'd say about fall. She was looking pretty big. And so, I put a male in with her. I put in Suge Knight. Suge Knight is red dominant pure locality BAC green tree python. Great breeder. So anyways, he went right to work on that Vinsky Blueline. And sure enough, she blew up. She had the ovulation and it looked great. Ovulation went good. The only thing that kind of threw a curveball in the beginning of all this was she skipped her prelay shed 3 times. I've had it happen 2 with one female, and then I had it happen once with the Vinsky Blueline. So typically when they skip their prelay shed, it's not a big deal. Plenty of breeders I've spoken to have had chondros skip their prelay shed. So, it's just something that you should consider or know when it comes to that, right? And so me thinking, okay, she skipped her prelay shed, there's nothing to worry about, just keep an eye on her type of thing, right? I noticed right around a week after she was supposed to give me her shed. And when I say by that, guys, from my experience, whenever you get the actual peak ovulation date of that chondro, they usually shed about 30 days after that, from my experience. Now, there's a range probably, but from my experience, about 30 days. So based off my experience with this girl, I'm figured, it's about a week after she was supposed to give me her prelay shed. And she was very active, okay, all over the cage, all over the enclosure. So what that means is typically she's trying to find somewhere to nest, okay? My nesting technique, I learned from Ryan Young, and a couple other breeders also do this technique as well. But what I do is I set something up in one of my Freedom Breeder racks in a tub setting, right? So I put a towel down, I'll put a hide in there. In the maybe first couple days, I'll put water, okay? But I don't leave that water in there for too long, okay? So, but that's what I do. I usually set them up in the rack. And they usually like the towel because the towel does stay humidified, and they usually wrap themselves in it. And I've had the past 2 successful clutches where they were laid perfectly in that rack system. So I need to fix something that's not broken, right? So I put her away into the rack system. And of course, just like the other girls, she instantly goes into the hide, and she looks like she's kind of getting ready to, to lay her eggs. A couple days go by, and I'm obviously checking on this female. She's looking really, really good. And then I believe we get to day 39 post-ovulation, okay? This might have been either day 39 or day 40. I think it was day 39. So day 39 post-ovulation, I go check on her, and I see eggs visibly inside her. Normally, that's not the case. And if you do see eggs that are visibly being shown on that snake, that means they're about to come out or they're ready to come out. So I check up on this girl, and I see where all those eggs are all bunched up towards the bottom of her cloaca. And I'm like, oh, wow, here we go. This is going to be the day she's going to lay the eggs. All day goes by, no eggs. And now, not only do I not see her laying eggs, I see her outside the hide box completely sprawled out. So she's completely sprawled out, which is like, okay, maybe some first-time females, lay eggs like this, but it definitely looks like she was trying to lay those eggs. I'm taking pictures of this, as you guys could see here, and I'm, keeping a good eye, talking to breeders, like, hey, what is going on? And, and something inside me was like, hey, she could be egg bound, because when you see something like that and the eggs don't come out, it's not good, folks.
Message.
Okay, it's not good. So I remember talking to Patrick Holmes, shout out to Patrick Holmes, talking to Ryan Young, talking to Socrates, and, getting an idea what needs to be done. Did attempt to soak her, and she was not having it. She was not doing too well. I was talking to Patrick closely at that time, and I told him when I went to attempt to soak her, and mind you, I had the temp gun, everything was great. She was in the water, and she was she had her head up, and she was gasping her mouth. And I was like, that's not normal. So either way, I didn't like how that was looking. So I immediately took her out of the tub, put her back. She wasn't doing the gasping outside the water tub. So put her back inside the rack system. And again, this was about day 41 or day 42, typically pretty early, about a few days early from what the average chondro lays. I know everyone has different days that where their chondro lays after ovulation, but from my experience, about 45, 46, 47, even sometimes close to 50, but, just depends, right? So I'm thinking, this could be still a miracle situation where she just hasn't pushed him out yet. I'm kind of hoping for that. Definitely not betting on that. The other side that wants me to bet says that this girl is egg bound and this is going to be a bad situation. But I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to, do what you always try to do when things are going bad in the chondro world. You're just trying to hope for a miracle. And so another day gets into the next day, early morning. I'm talking to Ryan Young. Ryan's asking me, why am I waiting? Once those eggs drop down like that, so once you see the eggs, because eggs don't get that big when they're in the female still, like up there. So once the females drop those eggs, that's when the eggs kind of like become eggs in a sense. So he's like, those eggs are trying to come out and they're not coming out. You need to get in there. You need to assist. I was able to get one egg out initially, and I was able to get that one egg out. And I was hoping that getting that one egg out would maybe start moving the other ones. And of course, I'm letting a few hours go by and nothing's moving. It's stuck. So again, I start working some stuff out. So the thing to come after the first egg that I got out was a bunch of urates, okay? A lot of poop, like a lot of poop, okay? This girl looked like she was backed up, which is crazy because I don't have backed up chondros. Like my emeralds, oh my gosh, I'm all over it. But my chondros, I don't deal with that. Like they poop. My chondros poop and I never have an issue. But anyways, I end up passing all these urates, all this like really hard, dark poop, and I'm thinking, oh my God, why is this in her? Another thing too, when a snake sheds, normally they have a bowel movement normally. Anyways, I got a lot of the urates and a lot of the poop out of her. And after doing that, I just started working the other eggs out. And it was hard at first, like meaning to work them down. But once I guess I broke the knot. And what I mean by that, I'm pretty sure the oviduct was in a knot. Like that's kind of what was keeping all these eggs up there or twisted or whatever, So once I was able to fix that twist, and start moving the eggs down, the eggs just started coming out one by one. And I shout out to my good buddy Juan, who's also in the chondro game, Life Rads Chondros. Go check him out. This time when I'm actually getting the eggs out of her, he came over just to hold her head to make sure she was okay. And she wasn't really fighting or anything, And so we're getting them out. I do notice there's some blood, not like pouring blood, but there's some blood coming out with these eggs. And, pretty concerning. One of the oviducts came out with the egg and I was able to snip the oviduct, slide the egg out. But about when I got to the last two eggs is when she wasn't doing too well. She was gargling some saliva, just gasping again. Sorry, this is hard to talk about, man. And so I'm a little softy when it comes to reptiles, by the way. I know I come off as like some hard ass to a lot of you guys, but man, when it comes to reptiles and the ones I keep, I'm pretty soft. Yeah, when I got to the last two eggs, I noticed she wasn't doing well. I got the last egg out of her, and literally by the time I got the last egg out of her, she was pretty limp, just not really there. I told Juan, stay right here. I'm going to go wash my hands and come right back. By the time I came right back in, I might have been gone for like 30 seconds. She passed away in my buddy Juan's hands. Not fully, she was coming in and out. So I took her, and she basically, final breath was in my hands. And so we lost her. And yeah, it was brutal. It was, I thought getting the eggs out, I could at least get her back into her cage and let her settle in. And, but man, with that size female, and mind you, these eggs were gigantic, man. Like compared to from what I've seen with my other chondros, I mean, these were big eggs. And I'm wondering like, why did these big eggs come out of this small female? I don't know. Can't really tell you. But very, very brutal results. The eggs, I don't know, who knows? Maybe if they would have came out the way that when they supposed to came out, they would have been fine. But for the most part, none of them had any veins or little to no vein development whatsoever. I was also told that once they come out that soon, there's not much vein development for, the first few hours. But, I did what I could. I tried and cleaned all the, blood and the, the mucus or whatever the hell the oviduct stuff on the eggs off and got the eggs put into an egg box. But I didn't have any hopes, and I had maybe one egg that looked like it was like maybe becoming white, like calcifying and looking good. But That egg I just threw away this morning. So it's brutal, but listen, you're breeding living things. Like, I don't care what it is. Mammals, reptiles, I mean, even humans, right? Think about like the sad news when moms don't always make it, you know, terrifying thing, right? With breeding, you know, with trying to create more life. That is the full story of my Vinsky Blueline female who did not make it, unfortunately. I think what could have maybe helped, and again, this is an assumption, I don't know, we don't know, right? But I think what could have helped is, you know, the fact that she skipped her prelay shed. I could have ensured she was getting hydration first and foremost. You know, when you soak a snake, and you're making it drink and you're making it kind of be active, they act normal to where they could poop stuff out, and you know. But the thing was, she was active. Like, I saw her every morning going from basking to not basking and moving around and whatnot. So, and I was on top of the humidity and you know, I don't really spray my chondros too much, but I don't know. Here we go. Maybe I should have sprayed. Maybe I should have just made sure extra hydration was going into her because of the whole skip in the prelay shed. So, and that could be maybe important with any chondro. I just never had an egg-bound situation like this. Never. Not even with ball pythons, I've never had an egg-bound situation. You hear egg-bound stories all the time with ball pythons. I mean, it's not common, but it does happen, right? So, yeah, there you have it. My first egg-bound experience in the books. And, yeah, what are you going to do? Like I said, you got to count your blessings. You got to be happy when you win, and you got to be happy when you lose, because losses turn into wins. And I feel like the biggest thing is I won't be able to see that girl ever again. She was a real pretty snake, you know, just a different, like that type of green I like on a green tree python was this snake. So RIP Vinsky Blueline girl. And again, you know, I hope this isn't something that you guys are taking like wrong. You know, anyone out there who's not really into reptiles thinking this is really jacked up. No, this is not jacked up. This is just the way things go sometimes. And it's sometimes out of the keeper's hands. But it's also up to the keeper to take notes of things and see what they could do different next time. No matter what you are doing, you could always do something better. Like, that's one thing about the reptile world. There are no experts, you know, as far as like meaning know-it-alls. There's really no official know-it-alls in the reptile world, okay? Some might have a title, but really, dude, come on. Mother Nature's the expert, first and foremost. Message! Yeah, guys, listen. I hope, because first and foremost, let me tell you one thing about the Vinsky Blueline. She laid at an odd time of the year. I don't ever get clutches at the end of the year, okay? A lot of my chondro clutches come springtime, June, right? So this was kind of a different scenario here as far as the time of year this girl laid. But with that being said, I got to tell you, I got a lot of things paired up now. A lot of things looking really, really good. So I'm hoping to share some really good news with you guys here shortly. But like I said, best way to find out before anyone else is join the Trap Talk Patreon family. So make sure you guys do that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, at least as like a learning lesson for anyone out there who was wondering like what bad things could maybe happen with breeding chondros. Well, here you have it. This is the episode, okay? And again, I'm looking forward to bringing you guys some really good news, hopefully in the near future. But either way, I drop a vlog here every Friday, update you guys on my beautiful collection, because even though I lost my Vinsky Blueline female, as I said, I got a lot other stuff. I got a lot. So much. I got so much. And I'm going to share with all you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help my subscribers organically grow on this channel. It means a lot. And another channel that you can help me help grow is the Morph Market channel. That's right. MJ's doing 2 vlogs a week officially, okay? I got my vlog that I do on the Trap Talk Reptile Vlogs here, and then I got a vlog that I do now on the Morph Market channel, okay? So I'm grinding, guys. Let's go. I gotta tell you, I'm putting a lot of work into the Morph Market vlogs, so make sure you go head over to the Morph Market YouTube channel. Go click on my most recent vlog. I got another vlog that's gonna be dropping on Sunday, okay? Because my vlogs come out on Friday, and then I'm gonna be dropping the Morph Market vlogs every Sunday. So you have Friday to be looking forward to, Trap Talk Reptile Vlogs, and then you have Sunday, the Morph Market vlogs, okay? I'm gonna be traveling all over the world and looking at the most sickest reptile collections, displaying them, spotlighting them, because the reptiles deserve the flowers. They deserve all the love, right? But yes, guys, all right, I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are all awesome. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you like best. I will pick a random comment to ship some sick-ass Morph Market merch and Trap Talk merch. That's right. I'm going to pick 3 comments. So drop a comment in the comment section. I'll send you some cool stuff. And that's all we have this week on the Trap Reptile Vlogs. I'll catch you here next week. And I'm out. Cheers. the US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there. True.